Hello everyone. Uh, so I'm back as promised. This time it has been a long gap between my last spiritual healing video and this video. So today is 12th of July. Tomorrow is the full moon, and it's a great time to have this healing video. So this today what we are discussing or going to discuss about is a very crucial and important topic which I think most of us, including me, have not been aware of or don't know how to work on this and what is it. And this is basically a part of my spiritual awakening journey which I have been sharing with you. It's a kind of a healing process, and the major issues that arises in our life, or major behavioral patterns that we face in our life, major karmic cycles that we face in our life, major relationship crisis that we face in our life happens because of this issue. And that's 70 to 80% is the root cause uh, of all these issues is this topic which we are going to discuss today. So it's a very important topic. So I jotted down some notes about it. I tried to create as much information, collect as much information as possible. If I feel I'll collect more information, I'll make a part 2 as well. So just to start with, today's topic is inner child issues. Inner child issues, how to heal them, what are inner child issues, how does it affect our patterns in life and behaviors in life, and how does it affect our overall life, overall behaviors, overall patterns, and how we can overcome them. So just to start with, what is inner child wound? We might have heard, if you have been into some spiritual things, you might have heard people saying inner child wounds, inner child issues. So what basically this is? So basically, in a psychotherapy, or if we talk about psychologically, in psychological terms, inner child is a sub personality that we carry, a part of you that is residing in your subconscious mind. In my last video, I have discussed about intuition versus thoughts, how to differentiate between intuition versus thought, and how we'll come to know this is coming from heart and this is coming from mind. So again, we are back with a topic which says that we carry always a personality which we don't know. We carry a personality which is a part of us, which is in our subconscious mind. So this is basically a simple definition of an inner child. So if we go to a spiritual side of this topic, inner child wound, inner child issues, inner child healing. So inner child basically, in my terms, I'll explain you what exactly it is. So inner child is a kind of wound, and it's a wound that we carry our whole lives in our subconscious mind, in our subconscious thoughts, and we don't know about it. The worst part is we don't know about it. We never think about it. We never pay attention to this scenario or this side of our spirituality. So inner child basically has its own energy house, and inner child and first chakra works in hand. So now you might have heard there are 7 chakras, 7 main chakras. There are multiple chakras, but there are 7 main chakras which we need to heal, and which mainly affects our life, our spirituality, our overall personality. So the first chakra, that is at the tip of our spine, is the foundation of our whole system. That is the base of our whole system. So inner child wound has its own energy, and this energy resides in first chakra. So first of all, we need to understand what is first chakra and how does it work, and why the inner child wound happens to reside, inner child wound energy happens to reside in the first chakra. Why? Inner childhood wound sounds like a feeling, sounds like a thought, sounds like a experience. So why it's not in heart or mind? Why it's in the first chakra? So let us first go to the first step of this, that what is first chakra? What are the first chakra key characteristics? So first chakra is your foundation of your whole system, whole body system, your base of your whole body system. So when you take birth in this universe, on this planet Earth, so the first chakra is the one which absorbs everything right from the starting to the from the starting of your birth to the age of 5, 6, 7. So whatever you're grasping, whatever information you're grasping, whatever thoughts, beliefs, inputs you're getting, all these are getting stored in your first chakra. It's like a computer, it gets stored in your first chakra. So basically the key characteristics of first chakra is, so first we'll explain first chakra, what it is. So basically first chakra is for security and safety. So when you take birth in this universe, on this planet Earth, it helps you to feel safe in this world. It helps you to feel that you belong to this world. It is the being of your physical survival. We know that we have a lot of people around us. When we take birth, we don't know who is our father, who is our mother. So this helps us to give that kind of sense of safety and security that we are around our own tribe. It's called as tribal chakra also. So basically, it's a chakra right from the starting of our birth, which helps us to give that safety, security, a feeling of belonging to this world. Right? So, like suppose once we take birth on this planet Earth, we don't know what love is. We are taught by people around us, parents, sisters, siblings, uncles and all, aunts. They teach us what love is. So this love, whatever definition, whatever experience, whatever thoughts we get from them, they are not in our heart chakra. They are first in our first chakra, that goes to the first chakra of ours. Right? So basically all the programming, all the beliefs, all the inputs that we get from our parents, siblings, the very first experience after our birth, we get to save all those informations into our first chakra. So that's how it's supposed to be. Now coming to the next point is that, again, like I told you, kids learn by observing their parents, their siblings, how to behave, what love is, what hatred is, how to fight, how to talk, all these things, small things, small little things that we learn in our lifetime, that gets stored, that information gets stored in the first chakra. So basically it holds all the programmings from our family, from our ancestors, because our parents teach us how to pray, how to eat, what to do, who to follow, which god to follow, which belief to follow. So basically all this gets imported into our first chakra, right? And suppose, for an example, if our family is dysfunctional, if our family has a lot of family issues, we have grandparents staying in, we have parents staying in, we have siblings, and then grandparents and parents are fighting every day. This is a very common scenario which we find in the houses. Even if the grandparents and the parents don't have a good relation with each other, or the parents, father, mother don't have good relation with each other, siblings, we have two more siblings who don't have, always keep on fighting, they don't have good communication with each other. So all these we are absorbing as a child. All these beliefs, all these experiences we are absorbing and putting it in our first chakra. So basically first chakra governs lower part of your body. So majorly it helps into the structure of our body. It makes the structure and the order of our body once we take birth on this planet. So basically if you feel that you are having major problems with your bones, or if you're having major problems with your immunity, so there is a high chances that you have your first chakra blocked, or your first chakra is wounded, right? So there might be a possibility. There can be other reasons of bones problems or immunity problems as well. This is just can be one of the reason, right? Because it's responsible, the first chakra is responsible for your immune system as well. So the way the child experiences the world after their birth, their first chakra starts blocking from there itself, starts getting wounded from there itself. Now, how that happens? Suppose once you take birth on this planet, you start growing with your parents, your siblings, and you find your parents fighting every day. You find your parents not talking to each other properly. You are finding your grandparents fighting with your parents every day. There can be multiple scenarios, or apart from fight, leave this topic. Maybe there is some other issues like once you took birth, your father is very busy with their own work. They are pretty busy with all these works they have, and your mother is busy with your housework, and you are feeling abandoned. You are feeling nobody's taking care of you. Nobody loves you. Nobody has time for you. So all these things, small, it piles up in your first chakra and starts blocking your first chakra. One more example. Suppose you have a lot of siblings, uncles and aunts, all staying together, joint family, or you have very strong family bond ties, like in very typical traditional families, right? And there are a lot of siblings, and you find that your parents are comparing you to other siblings, or your other siblings are being given more attention than you. I'm just giving the general scenarios which all happens to us in our daily lives. So that can be a tension problem. That can be a problem wherein you have a low self-esteem. You start building up those things in your first chakra. So these beliefs you are creating for your own self, unknowingly, subconsciously, from your childhood itself, that you have low self-esteem, you have a whole low self-worth, because you find your parents always comparing you to those kids or those siblings who are better than you. Normal example, in a general daily life, I'm not talking about big things or fights, or I'm not talking about parents fighting, or I'm not talking about parents communication and all the stuff. I'm just talking normal things in daily life, like we usually say to our kids, okay, see your brother, see your sister, see your uncle's child, he's so good, he every time listens to his parents. What is your problem? Why don't you listen? Why you always do things opposite to what we say? This is a normal scenario which we say to our kids, including me. I'm talking about I don't say such things, but yes, because I'm aware, I'm conscious of these things. But usually most of us are not. In our general daily lives, we talk to kids like this, and we don't understand what sort of effect it's going to have on our kids and on their future and on their upbringing. This is a completely separate topic. I'm doing a course on it, and soon I'll be back with a video on kids, on behavioral pattern, how to deal with kids. I'm going to do that. But this time we are here for healing the inner child issues. So now this kid stops these kind of things, these kind of scenarios, these kind of issues in his life, stops his development, his chakra development. So usually from the lower chakra, that is the first chakra, once you grow up, your other chakra starts eliminating, starts working, start developing. But because at the base level itself, your chakra is wounded in some or the other way, or blocked in some of the other way, your growth is happening, of course. But again, there is a blockage. There is a woundedness which we are not recognizing, which nobody is recognizing. And the child is absorbing everything from the worldview, any trauma they have in their family, any traumas they have from their ancestors, they will take the same way. So child basically, when a child is born, what they do, they work through their five senses, taste, hear, touch, right? So what is it all about? First chakra and five senses work together, because first chakra is all about your physical presence, your physical being, right? And first chakra is the home of your primary beliefs, basically. Whatever beliefs you're getting from your family, your ancestors, your parents, this is the home of all these beliefs. So inner child traumas are also called as first chakra issues, based on what programming you get, what sort of atmosphere you get in your house, what's happening around you. As I've given you multiple examples, there can be any scenarios which your child is facing today, or you might have faced in your childhood. So first chakra is not only affected by major things like emotional abuse, physical abuse, some dysfunction in the family, or some sort of toxicness in the family. It's not affected by big things only. It's affected by small things, as I told you. like parents fight, chaos in the family, screaming around here and there, misalignments, which is a very regular thing which we find in the families, even in the nuclear families or joint families. It can also be minor things like no love from your parents, no love from your grandparents, no love from your siblings, parents ignoring you and giving importance to your other siblings. So there can be multiple things, and it can grow into way bigger issues in when you grow. Like suppose if you are not getting attention today, you are being compared to your siblings by your parents. When you grow older, you will start facing abandonment issues. You will feel the same feeling with everyone, not cautiously. Cautiously you will say that no, I don't believe in what my parents believe in. Okay, suppose I'll just give you an example. Your parents have some beliefs related to some race or religion, and or their own religion or races, and they have given you those beliefs. And now after growing older, you think that no, I don't believe in all these beliefs, I don't believe in this religious beliefs of mine. But do you know something? That is cautiously you're not believing. But because these informations are stored in your first chakra already when you took birth, and your parents have feeded this energy to you, and it's stored in your first chakra, at some point of time in your life, you will believe on those beliefs. You will follow those things. You will follow your ancestral patterns. Unless you heal your chakra. Unless you work on your woundedness. So, even if you are saying that I don't believe what my parents believe in, be it religious beliefs or be it any other beliefs I'm talking about, that is cautiously you are saying. You are using your mind in this. But when we talk about in a real sense, in your subconscious levels, you still follow those things. You still have those fears. You still have those issues. Why? Because that's imported in your first chakra right from the beginning. And you're not able to leave them. You're not able to heal them. And that's causing issues in your present. That's affecting your present. So there are multiple things that can happen that can affect your inner child woundedness. Right? There are multiple things that can create a wounded childhood. Right? So the growth of a child and chakra gets stunted because of these issues. So when we grow up, just I told you, like when we grow up, our family's programming, whatever they have programmed us for, we say that we don't believe in it. We say that we don't follow our ancestral programming, we don't follow our parents' programming, whatever they have taught. But you always subconsciously, you will feel and you will follow that in your behaviors, in your reactions, in your way to handle things. You will follow them in the same way as your parents did or your ancestors did. So you need to heal your first chakra if you want to resolve those issues. And there can be very serious issues which arises from this, There can be very serious issues, like someone has an abandonment issue. That's a big issue. And those issues those triggers arises when you reach to a stage where you get into relationships. I will discuss this later. So now coming back to the spiritual definition, the inner child, psychologically we say it's a subconscious part of our personality which we don't usually know or accept, but we have it in our first chakra. Spiritually we say inner child is simply a part of you which is very innocent, very joyful, a childlike energy. You might have seen many people who are who we see as immature, who are very childlike, very joyful. So there is a high possibility of that innocence is that they might have not been feeded with toxic energies or patterns. It's not that our parents or ancestors are doing it intentionally to us. No, nobody. Even I have a child, I will never do that to my child. If I would have known that this affects so much in their future, or when they grow up, or when they grow older. But yes, to some extent, not to some extent, sometimes to a very high extent, this affects in our life. So now, question arises, how do you know that you have an inner child woundedness? A very simple question. If I say you inner child woundedness, if you ask me how can I know if I have inner child woundedness? So you can ask a couple of questions to yourself. You can ask yourself that, do you have any childhood trauma? I have done this to myself once. I did this to myself. That time I didn't know what is inner child issues. But I knew that I have some issues in facing people out. I think I have discussed this in my previous video as well once. So I knew that there is something which is coming from my childhood. So do I have a childhood trauma? This is the first question you need to ask. And if you have, there are high chances your first chakra is blocked and need to be healed, or wounded, you need to be healed. When you were a child, you can ask this question also. When you were a child, have you felt safe in the environment you were, or you always felt that you don't belong to this family, you don't belong to these people around you? See, these are the feelings which are very deep and in our subconscious thoughts, but we never think of. As a child, even if I ask you today to remember all those things, I don't think hardly most of us can remember at the age of 5 and 6 what we were thinking. That's the reason that they are rooted in us so badly and so strongly that healing them and getting the root cause of them and healing them is very tough part. But still, you might be having some glimpse, or you might be having some flashes around that you sometimes never felt safe. You always felt not loved around the people, or your parents, or around your grandparents, or around your siblings. You can ask one more question. Do you feel belong to the family, or multiple siblings family, joint family, family patterns? Have you ever felt that, oh, why I'm here as a child? Maybe once you are 9 or 10 years old, you feel, no, I don't, my siblings are completely different from who I am. My personality is completely different. What they are asking me to do, I think I'm not meant for that. But because of our age, because at that age we are following our parents. We can't question their beliefs. We can't question them. We follow them. So that becomes a pattern to us. One more question, which is an important question I was telling you just now. One more question you can ask yourself. How are my relationships now? How am I dealing with my relationships now? Especially the romantic ones. Especially which involves intimacy. Especially where you need to get intimate to someone, to love someone, to gain that confidence, to share every single bit of you to them. So, are you comfortable in doing that? Or are you, once you get intimate to someone who you love, or the relationship handling of yours is very poor, or you have fears of abandonment, that if I love someone, they will leave me. So romantic relations, basically, only the romantic I'm talking about, the romantic relations, because they involve a lot of intimacy, a lot of closeness, a lot of sharing at a very intimate level. So they trigger the woundedness of inner child very fast, especially the romantic ones. And if by chance you are in a spiritual journey and you met your twin flame or soulmate, then guys, it's 100% sure shot chance that you are going to get triggered for your inner child woundedness, if you have any. So that's why twin flame relationship have a ripple effect, because both the twin flames get apart from each other and they have to work on themselves, work on their woundedness, heal their woundedness, and then come back together. So this is again a different topic. But yes, romantic relations, you have to check yourself, check upon yourself especially your romantic relationships. Do you have a lot of issues in your romantic relations? And you have a lot of issues, most of the people has, but it's not all coming from your childhood. But you can cautiously think about all these factors. If you have some abandonment issues, you feel that people will leave you, before they leave you should leave them. This especially abandonment issue comes from your childhood. Then again, arguments with your partner. Example, I'll give you an example. I think example will be more suitable in this scenario. So, example that you have an argument with a partner, and in response you start throwing temper tantrums, or just to give a response to it, you stop talking, you ran away, you hide yourself, you shut down your system. So it's very important to understand how you're behaving in your relationships. If you're throwing tantrums on your partner while arguments, or temper tantrums especially, or if your partner argues with you something, you just shut down, you just stop talking, you just hide yourself, that means you're running. Again, this is from your childhood. You need to heal this issue. Otherwise, it's very difficult. There are high chances that you will always be stuck in such sort of karmic cycles and karmic relationship, which is again another topic, how to come out of it. Right? So, are you feeling jealous in your relationships without any reason? Are you unnecessarily immature, emotionally immature? Are you unnecessarily insecure about your partner? Are you having any sort of emotional immaturity? You feel that you behave in a certain way and then later you regret about it? Are you excessively overreactive in terms of physical reactions towards your partner? Be it throwing things or shouting or screaming. I think people accept it saying, okay, this person has this nature or this kind of a behavior. No. This is their inner childhood wound they need to heal. They might have seen, they might have observed, they might have absorbed this from their parents or their grandparents or their siblings or the people around them when they came on this earth, on this planet. Right? So, this is the way you can ask these couple of questions. Especially the relationships can tell you if you are into this kind of you need an inner childhood healing, or you're wounded or not, or you went through a trauma in the past, childhood trauma, or some sort of abandonment, some sort of lack. This can affect your relationship in the present, and you need to heal them, guys. Else it will create a lot of issues and it will affect your children in future as well. You can ask yourself, is my first chakra balanced? Okay, so this is another topic. You can ask yourself how to judge yourself that your first chakra is balanced or not, or you need to balance it or not. So I'm just closing this video here because I'm already done with 30 minutes. So I'll be sharing this video as with the topic heading of what are inner childhood wounds and how we will come to know that we are having some inner childhood wounds or not. And I'll be moving to another video because I'm not supposed to share more than 30 minutes video. It takes a lot of time for me or effort for me to upload any video which is more than 30 minutes. So I'll be creating a second video on this wherein we will discuss that how to heal your inner childhood wounds and how to understand that your chakra is balanced or not. Okay, so take care, love and light, bye. See you in the next video.